Hello there, magical travellers. Are you ready for adventure? D23 is less than 24 hours away, and I'm sure we're going to get some big news with regards to Walt Disney parks and resorts around the world. So stay tuned and we'll find out what I think they're going to be. Okay, first of all, the really easy one to talk about is Star Wars Land. Local news is out already that there is a full-size model recreation of what Star Wars Land will look like. Now, whether or not that Star Wars Land in California or Florida is still to be known. It's highly likely it's going to be of Star Wars Land in California, just because it's the local park to where the exhibition takes place, so I wouldn't be surprised if they want to tie in that and obviously try to engage with the local crowd who will be attending the event. Now, we know a lot about what's coming to this land, however we don't know the details, and it's highly unlikely Disney are going to go into great detail about what the actual attractions are because they want to keep those secrets as close to them as possible. However, I think it's highly likely they're going to showcase a little bit more of the thematic stuff that's going to be happening and a lot of the world building they're planning to be doing in both the Star Wars lands in Florida and California. I also think it's highly likely that they're going to be talking about the changes coming to Fantasmic, especially seeing the rumour going around is soft previews are likely to take place over this weekend also. The big one that's up for debate, however, is whether or not Marvel Land in California Adventure is going to get announced. Rumour was it was going to get announced in the 2015 D23 Expo, however the rumour is at the last minute it was pulled for the running order from the event. This is pretty much confirmed already, considering the fact that Joe Road has gone on record to say Mission Breakout is the start of more Marvel to come to California Adventure. Now, if Marvel Land does get announced, I think it's going to be very top level. I think they're not going to want to commit too much to the details of the land, and if anything, they're just going to mention the fact and talk about the fact that there will be more Marvel attractions to come. I'll be highly amazed if we get details of there is going to be, for example, a Captain America ride and what that ride will be and what the storyline will be. I think if anything, we'll just get artwork of this is what a Marvel Land could be. And where that is going to be positioned within the park, I think will still be a mystery. I would be highly surprised if Disney announced that they're actually going to start groundbreaking and start closing attractions down at D23. They're going to be more inclined to concentrate on the positive of things that are coming rather than things that it'll be replacing and they'll be taking away. So again, I think it's just a matter of time for when Marvel Land will get announced. The question is, will that be now at D23, or are they going to want to hold back and do another event later on down the year? Moving over to Walt Disney World, there's a lot here that could be announced. However, I just want to point out that the way Disney tend to approach D23 Expo is the fact they tend to concentrate more on Disneyland. Considering the fact that the majority of the people attending tend to be local to Disneyland, Disney hold their own separate event called Destination D that happens at Walt Disney World, and the chances are that any big or major announcements are likely to be done at Destination D. However, there's a lot of rumours flying around at the moment with regards to updates coming to Walt Disney World, so the chances are one of these or some of these may get announced at D23 Expo. So, as quickly as possible, I'll try and run down what the rumours are at the moment that are currently buzzing around Walt Disney World, and hopefully some or one of these will get announced. However, as with all things Disney, it's likely to change. First and foremost, I think it's highly likely that a new attraction coming to the Magic Kingdom is likely to be discussed or hinted at during the event. Now, there's a lot of rumours lying around. One of these rumours is that there's a roller coaster of some sort coming to Adventureland, possibly behind the current existing perimeter of the park, or possibly in place of the Treehouse attraction. There's a lot of debate about whether or not guest flow in this area needs to be redesigned as well, so there's chances are there could be a bigger change coming to Adventureland. Obviously, Stitch's Great Escape has gone seasonal, which has caused rumours to fly around about that getting a replacement. At one point there was talk of a Wreck-It Ralph attraction going there, and now there's rumours buzzing around that part of the park about a Tron coaster coming. There have long been talks about an update coming to the Florida version of Frontierland to flesh out kind of the backside of the park. However, these talks have been back and forth for a long time, and it seems to be a bigger infrastructure talk than they're willing to admit. This one's a bit of a funny one. There's a lot rumoured for Epcot. However, personally, I have a feeling if anything is going to come to Epcot, they're more likely going to announce it at Destination D, considering the fact that Destination D is an event that's targeted more to the Florida market. Now, there's no denying that Epcot is in a bit of a funny place at the moment, and thematically is really struggling to really state what its identity is at the moment. There's a lot of people who are worried about IPs or characters coming into Epcot, and there's a lot of people who just think the park needs a kick up the bum. Some of the leading rumours, and there's a bit of evidence to back this up from permits, is regarding the Universe of Energy. Now, a lot of people are thinking that this is where the Florida version of a Guardians of the Galaxy ride could be. However, there's no concrete evidence of what will come. All we know is that they are planning to do some work behind the attraction to move one of the retention ponds to give them a bit more land. Highly likely this means the Universe of Energy's days are numbered. However, what that replacement could be is still yet to be determined. There's also a lot of talk about the Wonders of Life Pavilion. Currently Disney use it as an event space, however it's a prime plot of land that could be used for a future attraction. There's also rumours going around about Mission Space getting updated. This attraction can take a huge number of guests per hour, however it's not very popular, so there's a lot of talk about whether or not to put an IP character in there, or whether or not just to update the film so that it's something fresh and new for them to promote. There's also a lot of rumours with regards to the Land Pavilion. Don't worry, Soarin's safe. However, the Circle of Life Theatre is likely to get replaced, changed, removed or closed, and they're looking at generally giving the pavilion an overall refresh just to make it look a bit more modern and a bit more trendy. Over at the Imagination Pavilion, however, your imagination is the limit on what could potentially happen here. There are so many rumours about what could be happening in the Imagination Pavilion that I'm not going to go into them all here. There's talk about Figment going, there's talk about Figment staying, there's talk about a new journey into imagination, there's talk about a whole new concept. Who knows? We just know that Disney are desperately trying to rethink what's happening with the Imagination Pavilion. However, whether or not it stays as the Imagination Pavilion or just becomes something entirely new is yet to be seen. Over in World Showcase, there have long been rumours of a new country coming. The current leader, however, is a new Brazilian pavilion. Try saying that 3 times fast. Now, why a Brazilian pavilion? Potentially, there again, try saying it again, Brazilian pavilion. Why a Brazilian pavilion? Well, there's a lot of Brazilian guests that go to Walt Disney World, so they actually think it's a great opportunity to resonate with those guests and give them something that they can be proud of and celebrate while they are at the parks. There's also a really strong rumour going around that the Ratatouille attraction from Walt Disney Studios in Disneyland Paris may actually be coming to the Paris section of Epcot. Again, these are all rumours and we don't know if anything is actually confirmed or likely to go ahead, but the chances are if it's going to get announced, D23 or later in the year at Destination D is when that will happen. Now of course there's a lot of work going on currently at Hollywood Studios. This is likely to carry on and I don't think Disney will use D23 to announce anything extra. However, the big rumour going around is the fact that the Great Movie Ride is going to get closed down and turned into the Mickey Experience or the Mickey Attraction or the Mickey Ride or Adventures with Mickey. Nobody quite knows what it's going to be called or what exactly this ride is. We just know that it's going to be a celebration of everyone's favourite mouse. Now this leads into a bigger conversation about the identity and the theming behind Hollywood Studios. Long has it been rumoured that the studio's branding of the park is likely to disappear. Personally, I think this will be the best thing to happen to the park. The studio's theme was always a little bit corny, a little bit kitsch, and it was kind of done in retaliation to Universal opening their studios park. So I think kind of drawing a line in the sand and moving away from the studio's concept would be the best thing to happen to the park. Now potentially you could be looking at something similar to California Adventure, however just called Hollywood Adventure, maybe even Disney's Hollywood Adventure, whereas we can celebrate in Florida Walt's adventure through Hollywood, how he started the studios and how he created all the characters we know and love. Hence why the rumour of the Great Movie Ride becoming the Mickey attraction is a strong lead, as this would be the starting point of Walt's journey in Hollywood when he created Mickey Mouse. With regards to Animal Kingdom, I'd be amazed if we get any major announcements. I'm pretty sure they're going to talk about the success of Pandora and probably lean on the fact of it's the start of things to come for Animal Kingdom. However, I think the timeline of things coming to Animal Kingdom is further down the line, so I don't think we're going to get anything announced at D23. Moving on to the Asia parks, Tokyo has its own D23 event, so I'd be surprised if we get any news about what's happening at the Tokyo Disneyland Resort. Hong Kong Disneyland currently has a lot in planning, so it's possible that they may spend a section talking about the renovated castle that's coming or the potential Marvel Land. So I think it's possible if they announce Marvel Land for California Adventure that they will touch upon the fact that some of these attractions could be coming to Hong Kong Disneyland also. As for Shanghai, I don't think we're going to get anything at D23, but I'd love to be surprised. I know obviously that Toy Story Land is coming to Shanghai Disneyland, however I'd like to see what the bigger plan is, what the plan is for the next 5 years for Shanghai Disneyland, whether or not we're going to get other lands and attractions coming sooner rather than later. Just quickly want to touch upon Disney Cruise Line as well. I don't think this is going to be when they're going to announce the names for the 2 new ships that are coming. Disney Cruise Line tend to have their own fan base and their own way of doing things. I wouldn't be surprised if they hold off until the D23 that's scheduled to happen in 2019 before they start talking about the 2 new ships that are coming to the fleet. So, I know that's a lot of information, which I think is great because it just goes to show there's a lot of exciting things coming to the Disney parks and resorts around the world. If you've enjoyed this video, guys, please do subscribe because there's more to come. And if you've enjoyed this particular video, give it a thumbs up. And that's a wrap, Magical Travelers, so I'll see you real soon.